Right then, welcome to Sports Today in breaking news at the moment, and that's coming from the ICC meeting. If you remember, the big talking point recently has been that four-nation tournament that was proposed by the PCB boss, Ramiz Raja, that would have involved India, Pakistan, Australia, and England. And that's a tournament that Ramiz Raja had proposed that was put forward to the ICC. And in latest news just coming in, ICC has rejected that proposal of that four-nation tournament to be organized over a period of 5 years. They had suggested that the projections were that there could be about 750 million US dollars is what ICC could be earning from that four-nation tournament over a period of 5 years. That is what was projected by Ramiz Raja. That was a proposal that was given by Ramiz Raja. It would have benefited a few boards. But you remember, BCCI was against that proposal. BCCI wasn't very keen to participate in that tournament. That proposal was put forward in front of the ICC committee, and ICC has turned it down. So there is no. Also, I mean, there were a lot of talk about whether the ICC has that sort of jurisdiction to have such tournaments, because as you know, the ICC already conducts the World Cups, the T20 World Cups, the World Test Championship, and over and above that are the time gaps for bilateral series. So it's often been argued, people who ask me what is the reason. A lot of board argue that if you're going to already have now one ICC tournament, whether it's a T20 World Cup or a 50 over World Cup, and then alongside that you also have the World Test Championship, how is it that other boards are going to earn? As in, the rest of the calendar needs to be given for bilateral series, and the revenue generation is going to be for those particular home boards that organize that. So that was one of the reasons that was given. As you know, BCCI had already said that they cannot be participating. They already have a chock-a-block calendar. So at the moment, that proposal of having four nations play a yearly tournament over a period of 5 years, the projections or the presentation that was given to the ICC suggested that $750 million could be raised through that tournament. That decision has been taken, and no such tournament will happen. A few other developments, if I can tell you, that happened at that ICC meet is, remember Gregory Barclay, who's the chairman of the ICC. He's going to continue till October, which will kind of help the BCCI as well, because remember, BCCI is going to be nominating one of their own candidates to being the chairman. And there are talks that it could be a close call between whether it will be Saurav Ganguly, the current board president, or whether it's going to be Jay Shah. Because remember, in September, the BCCI AGM is to take place. And after the AGM, most likely, the two of them might have to go on to the cooling off period. If you know that after one tenure, as are the new regulations that have been laid out in the BCCI, the new constitution, the Lodha committee recommendation, which has now been included in the new constitution, according to that, you needed to have a cooling off period. After September, it is still that matter is sub judice, and BCCI is arguing that case in court that that cooling off period should not exist. But currently, because of the Lodha recommendation, it is part of that BCCI constitution. So in September, there were reports that both Saurav Ganguly and Jay Shah might have to go into that cooling off period. And then it would be an opportune time for them to go towards the ICC, take up a managerial role there. The the position of chairman is going to be free at that time. Gregory Barclay, who is a Kiwi, who is at that position. Let's go of that now in October, as we're finding out based on the ICC meeting that has happened. The 2-day ICC meet has just gotten over. So for that, it'll be interesting to see who does India nominate now post-October, when that chairman position is going to be free, who between Jay Shah or Saurav Ganguly. It is being speculated, one between the two. Most likely Jay Shah could be nominated for that position, because they have to go into that cooling off period after September. And the BCCI, so the decision taken today of Gregory Barclay continuing is kind of gives some rope to the BCCI, has come in as some sort of relief for the BCCI, because then they can decide post their September AGM as to who are they going to nominate for that top post in ICC. So that's one news. The other news, as I pointed out, that four-nation tourney that was being planned, which had expected revenue of 750 million US dollars, that has also been turned down by the ICC, so that's not happening. The third piece of big news coming in is that Ramiz Raja is expected to tender his resignation very, very shortly. He is the PCB boss, and that is not primarily because of that proposal that he proposed for that four-nation tournament. It's not primarily because of that, but also because he was nominated as the PCB boss by Imran Khan, who is the patron-in-chief of the Pakistan Cricket Board. As you know, the Prime Minister in Pakistan is also the patron-in-chief of the Cricket Board. So he had nominated Ramiz Raja to that position, but now that Imran Khan has been ousted as Prime Minister, he is no more there. It is being believed that Ramiz Raja will very soon be tendering his resignation from the post of PCB chairman as things stand right now. So those are the latest updates. I've got a few questions. Utkarsh Madan is saying, why can't it be done without the ICC? Why need ICC's permission? Why has BCCI denied it? Utkarsh, it can be done without the ICC if all the boards come together and decide. As you know, there are a lot of times you see triangular series being played in Australia. That's not done by the ICC. That's done by a home board, or like you used to have series in Sharjah at one point, that was also done by cricket in the UAE. So yes, it could have been done without the ICC, but I think it is because the proposal was sent to the ICC by Pakistan chief Ramiz Raja. So that is why I think it is gone through the ICC. It could have been done, but as you know, BCCI has opposed it for multiple reasons. One, because BCCI believes that their calendar is already chock-a-block with bilateral series, then an ICC tournament, one ICC tournament every year, and then the World Test Championship as well. So they don't seem to have a lot of time. And then the other thing, you know, that there are political reasons as well, and then the BCCI has to take permission from the Home Ministry before engaging in any bilateral series with Pakistan. But because this is a new tournament that was being proposed, I do not know whether that sort of permission has been given. Even if they did, they would have to be consulting the Home Ministry. So there were a lot of ifs and buts. There could have been a lot of roadblocks, which is why the BCCI was already against such sort of a proposal. Also, it dents BCCI's revenue. I mean, BCCI is the richest board in the world, and why would they be looking at having a four-nation tourney and then sharing those spoils with other countries as well? BCCI could very well get in touch with, let's say, an Australia and have an extra series, or Australia, England, and India could come together and play a series. As I said, there are already a lot of triangular series or quadrangular series that still happen, that are organized by certain boards, and then they invite a few other boards and then organize. So I mean, that can happen, but why did it go to the ICC? I just answered that question. Any update on the Asia Cup talks? Yes, there are talks that it might be shifted out of that. I think there is a series there. Australia are to be hosted by Sri Lanka, and then the Asia Cup. But because of the financial situation there are talks it could be shifted out of Sri Lanka. But that is also not confirmed at the moment. If it was to be confirmed, we definitely inform you right here on Sports Today. So those are the latest updates. Thanks so much for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today. Also, we are live through the day, keeping a track of all the IPL matches and updates. This close game is going on between Kolkata and Delhi. We'll be back live from our studios as soon as that game is over. Then see you.